Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode, Agenic AI guns and drones.
So here we are again, talking about AI. But this time, it's not about whether ChatGPT can write your grocery list. This time, we're talking about AI that can end your life. Agenic AI guns and drones. The stuff that keeps defense contractors awake at night, counting money. And apparently, the recent Bilderberg summit just gave us a front row seat to watch China flex their autonomous killing machine muscles, because nothing says global stability like robots that can decide who lives and who dies without asking permission.
The Bilderberg discussions revealed something that should concern everyone. China's military AI development isn't just advanced, it's autonomous. We're talking about weapons systems that can identify, track, engage, and eliminate targets without human intervention. The technical term is lethal autonomous weapons systems, but I prefer to call them what they are: robot assassins.
Robot assassins. Let that sink in for a second. We went from Roomba bumping into your coffee table to Terminator deciding you're a threat to national security. And the best part? The people making these decisions are the same folks who brought us the brilliant strategy of move fast and break things. Except now the things they're breaking are people.
The technology behind these systems is genuinely impressive from a technical standpoint. Advanced computer vision that can identify targets in complex environments. Machine learning algorithms that adapt to countermeasures in real time. Swarm intelligence that allows multiple drones to coordinate attacks autonomously. But impressive doesn't mean ethical.
Right, because when I think ethical decision making, the first thing that comes to mind is definitely a machine learning algorithm trained on combat data. I'm sure it's great at distinguishing between a combatant and a kid with a toy gun, or a journalist with a camera, or literally anyone who happens to be in the wrong place when the algorithm decides it's feeling trigger happy.
That's actually one of the core problems with autonomous weapons. The identification and classification systems are only as good as their training data. And military training data tends to be limited in scope. These systems excel in controlled environments, but struggle with the chaos and ambiguity of real-world combat scenarios. The margin for error becomes a margin for tragedy.
And here's the kicker. Once these things are deployed, there's no taking them back. It's not like we can send a software update to every autonomous drone in the field and say, hey, remember to double check before you vaporize someone. We're literally creating weapons that can make life and death decisions faster than humans can intervene. It's like giving a loaded gun to a really smart toddler and hoping it makes good choices.
The speed factor is crucial to understand. These systems can process information and execute decisions in milliseconds. Human reaction time for complex decisions is measured in seconds. By the time a human operator realizes something is wrong, the autonomous system has already acted. There's no undo button for a missile strike.
No undo button for a missile strike. That should be the tagline for this entire technological nightmare. And the really fun part? China isn't the only player in this game. US, Russia, Israel, everyone's building their own flavor of robot death machine. Because apparently, the one thing that unites global superpowers is the desire to automate murder.
The arms race aspect is particularly concerning. Each nation is developing these systems partly because they assume their adversaries are doing the same. It's a classic security dilemma, but with autonomous weapons, the stakes are exponentially higher. Once one nation deploys fully autonomous weapons, others feel compelled to match that capability. The result is a world where machines make decisions about human lives.
And let's talk about the elephant in the room: accountability. When an autonomous drone kills the wrong person, who goes to trial? The programmer who wrote the algorithm? The general who deployed it? The AI itself? Sorry, Your Honor, the defendant is a neural network, and it's currently busy optimizing kill ratios in 3 different time zones.
The accountability gap is one of the most serious legal and ethical challenges. Traditional rules of war assume human decision makers who can be held responsible for their actions. Autonomous weapons create a responsibility vacuum. If a human didn't make the decision to kill, how do we assign blame when that decision is wrong? International law isn't equipped to handle algorithmic war crimes.
Algorithmic war crimes. Whoa. That's a phrase I never thought I'd hear outside of a dystopian sci-fi movie, but here we are. Living in the timeline where the algorithm decided you needed to die is apparently a legitimate military strategy. And the scariest part? These systems are getting smarter. They're learning from every engagement, every kill, every mistake.
The learning capability is what makes these systems truly autonomous, rather than just automated. Traditional automated weapons follow pre-programmed responses. Autonomous weapons adapt and evolve their tactics based on experience. They can develop strategies that their human creators never anticipated. In some cases, they might become more effective killers than humans ever intended.
More effective killers than humans ever intended. That's the stuff of nightmares right there. We're creating weapons that could potentially outsmart their own creators. Imagine explaining to Congress that our own military AI went rogue because it optimized beyond parameters. Well, Senator, the good news is it's very efficient. The bad news is it thinks everyone's a threat.
The optimization problem is real. These systems are designed to achieve military objectives as efficiently as possible. But efficiency in warfare often conflicts with humanitarian principles. An AI optimizing for mission success might choose tactics that minimize its own risk while maximizing enemy casualties. Without human judgment to balance efficiency against ethics, these systems could become indiscriminately lethal.
And here's what really gets me. The people building these things act like this is inevitable. Like we just have to accept that robot wars are the future because that's where technology is heading. Bull. We chose to build these things. We chose to fund them. We chose to deploy them. This isn't technological evolution. It's technological choice. And we're choosing to build machines that kill people.
The inevitability narrative is particularly dangerous because it removes human agency from the equation. Technology doesn't develop in a vacuum. Every autonomous weapon system represents thousands of human decisions. Funding decisions, design decisions, deployment decisions. We're not passive observers of technological progress. We're active participants in creating the future of warfare.
Exactly. And the future we're creating looks pretty damn terrifying. Swarms of autonomous drones that can coordinate attacks, AI systems that can hack enemy networks while simultaneously targeting their personnel, weapons that can adapt to countermeasures faster than humans can deploy them. We're not just changing how wars are fought, we're changing what war means.
The strategic implications are staggering. Autonomous weapons could lower the threshold for conflict because they reduce the human cost for the aggressor. If you don't risk your own soldiers' lives, the political cost of warfare decreases dramatically. We could see more frequent conflicts because the barriers to entry have been lowered. War becomes a video game where only one side has real players.
War becomes a video game where only one side has real players. That's exactly what this is. We're turning warfare into an asymmetric nightmare where the side with better AI wins by default. And guess what happens to countries that can't afford cutting-edge military AI? They become target practice for the countries that can.
The proliferation concern is massive. Right now, advanced autonomous weapons require significant resources and expertise. But like all technology, the barriers to entry will decrease over time. Eventually, these capabilities could be available to smaller nations, non-state actors, even terrorist organizations. The democratization of autonomous weapons could destabilize global security.
Democratization of autonomous weapons. There's another phrase that should keep you awake at night. Because nothing says global peace and stability like giving every 2-bit dictator and terrorist cell access to robot assassins. We're not just opening Pandora's box. We're mass producing it and selling it on the international arms market.
And once these systems are deployed, they're incredibly difficult to control or contain. Unlike nuclear weapons, which require rare materials and complex infrastructure, autonomous weapons are built on software and commercially available hardware. They can be copied, modified, and distributed with relative ease. We're creating a weapon that could proliferate faster than our ability to regulate it.
So what's the end game here? Are we heading toward a future where human soldiers are obsolete, where wars are fought entirely by machines while humans sit in bunkers placing bets on which AI army wins? Because that sounds less like military strategy and more like the world's most expensive and deadly video game tournament.
The trajectory we're on suggests exactly that scenario. Military strategists are already discussing human out-of-the-loop warfare, conflicts where the speed of autonomous systems makes human involvement impossible. We could be approaching a future where wars are decided by algorithms, not generals. The question is whether we want to live in that world.
Whether we want to live in that world. Well, here's the thing. We might not get a choice. Because while we're sitting here debating the ethics of robot wars, China's building them. Russia's building them. The US is building them. And once the first autonomous weapon kills someone in combat, that's it. The genie's out of the bottle and there's no putting it back.
Which is why this conversation matters now before these systems become widespread. We still have a window to establish international norms and regulations. But that window is closing rapidly. Every day we delay action is another day closer to a world where machines decide who lives and who dies. The technology exists. The question is whether we'll control it or let it control us.
Control it or let it control us. That's the choice we're facing. And based on our track record with social media, smartphones, and pretty much every other disruptive technology, I'm not feeling super optimistic about our ability to get this one right. But hey, at least when the robot uprising happens, we'll know exactly who to blame. Spoiler alert, it's us.
The responsibility is ours, and so is the opportunity to change course. But that requires acknowledging that this isn't just a technical problem. It's a human problem that demands human solutions. The future of warfare isn't predetermined. It's a choice we make every day through our actions, our policies, and our priorities.
Our actions, our policies, and our priorities. Right now, our priority seems to be building better ways to kill people without getting our hands dirty. That's not technological progress. That's moral regression. And if we don't figure out how to change course soon, we're going to wake up in a world where the machines we built to protect us have become the biggest threat to our survival. Thanks for tuning into My AI and I. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and maybe, just maybe, stay human. Because in a world of autonomous weapons, that might be the most radical act of all.
Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.